So we are past all of the 10 steps to an autocracy. It's not looming, it's here. This will probably be the last free and fair election. Executive orders exceeding executive branch powers left and right, flouting the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't make a difference. Congress is pretty much neutered. I was catching up on today, the head of the FBI screaming at the Congress. Epstein, according to the FBI, there's no evidence that he's trafficked women. I told y'all that wasn't never gonna happen. They was never gonna get nothing out of that. Go after the media. They've neutered them. They've gut the government, fired all the people that know how to run government, and replaced them with fucking podcasters and loyalists. They went after the universities, cut their funding, struck agreements with them to revise how they teach, let them pick who gets admitted and what they teach. They sued the law firms and got them to capitulate and offer free law work. And they're incentivizing private violence, using tyranny by turning the military against the people and having privatized police roving the streets, arresting people, wearing masks, no accountability, no habeas corpus, shipping people off to different geographic areas, not even the places that they came from, not without even a day in court. Racial profiling. If you look Latino or you speak Spanish, we stopping you. You're going to have to prove you need to be here. Show me your papers. Gerrymandering the elections. Wash, rinse, and repeat. We are here now. I heard he just froze billions in aid. So food stamps, Section 8, school lunches, Meals on Wheels. I'm assuming HBCU funding is next since he doesn't want to focus on anything that's minority because it's discriminatory. Coming up with a list of people that have spoken out about Charlie Kirk and will be canceling the passports and getting them fired from them jobs and canceling visas and you name it. And on Fox News, lethal injections for the homeless people. And y'all still dancing on TikTok, buying shoes and buying makeup and hair products and thinking that this is going to happen to somebody else. It ain't at your front door yet. It's going to be too late.
Yeah, well, here it is, folks. It is happening. They want to lock you in this country. A new bill introduced this week would give Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, the ability to revoke and deny passports to U.S. citizens. And well, here it is, folks. It is happening. They want to lock you in this country. A new bill introduced this week would give Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, the ability to revoke and deny passports to U.S. citizens. And for what? For what you think and for what you say. Introduced by the chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Republican Brian Mast from Florida. Of course, they couch it as this is for terrorists and for traffickers. But we know that's not true because this is the exact same line of logic that they use to strip students and to arrest green card holders. So all of the pro-Palestine protesters at Columbia, across these other universities, where they stripped their student visas, where they arrested people like Khalil Mahmoud just for exercising their First Amendment speech for protesting the genocide. Now they want to do that same thing without due process to U.S. citizens. They want to strip your passport or to deny your passport application for things that you have said. And what they're going to do is they're going to say that you have provided material support to terrorism based on the things that you have said. But the difference is they would have to prove that in a court of law if they were to charge you under terrorism laws. Under this bill, they just accuse you. They accuse you of being a terrorist, of providing material support. They never have to prove anything. Then they just take away your passport. Because if you're actually a terrorist, they don't need to do this. They just charge you under the terrorism laws. You go to prison. Remember, my global entry was revoked in March, 2 weeks after I started speaking out against the regime. There's no due process there. And they want to do the same thing, to just take away your ability to leave this country without any due process. They make an accusation, boom, no passport, you can't travel anymore. This is another canary in the coal mine. This is telling you get out now, because they are locking down the borders.
Thus says the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. We have now entered into authoritarianism, all right, and the New World Order is here. They have brought forth draconian measures against the citizens. They have brought forth the military, all right, in the major cities. And they are now firing, okay, people from their jobs for speaking out against Captain Kirk. Okay, hopefully you know who Captain Kirk is, the one who got shot in the neck. All right, so we're here, all right, at the New World Order. This will only escalate into gradualism for social credit monitoring. All right, that's what's coming. That's the reason why they're bringing this forth. They're gradually letting you know that they can get you fired from your job at any time based upon what you say online. Okay, so, and they're using every means possible. Like they just had the young lady from one of those colleges that was mocking Captain Kirk, and she was expelled from school. So we see that this is the agenda that they have going forward. There will be no free speech in this country. All right, so let's go to Psalms 10. Psalms 10 and verses 1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? And we are indeed in Jacob's trouble, all right? It's been brought forth, okay, by the wicked, Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man. He's in power, he is in rule. The wicked, verse 2, in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. They're talking about putting to death the homeless. That's what was stated by one of the talking heads on one of the news stations, right? For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhors. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. And that is what has happened. It happened to the Latinos, the so-called the northern kingdom of Israel. okay, of the Americas. They were drawn into the net of Nero. Okay? They fell for the white supremacist lie. Okay, they felt that long as they were light skinned or what have you, that they were in with the so-called white man. All right. So they, as it says here, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion, and he lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth them. He drew them into the net. Okay. He said he was just going after the criminals. He didn't say he was going after all the so-called people of the Americas. And so they were drawn into his net. Okay. Let's go to Psalms 94 and 20. Psalms 94 and 20. Let me highlight that. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framest mischief by a law? Okay, so they've been coming out with these laws left and right. Okay, laws laws to take down statues at the Smithsonian. Okay, in parks, you know, that involve slavery. Okay, they want to make America white again. Okay, they brought forth this project 2025, and they're accomplishing all the goals in it. Okay, so I would say the authoritarian rule is here. Isaiah 29 and 21. And it reads, that maketh a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turneth aside the just for a thing of naught. Because the people that was mocking Captain Kirk have lost their they've been expelled from colleges, and people are losing their jobs. I think I heard a teacher lost her teaching job because she mocked Captain Kirk. Okay, so it's here, we're in authoritarian rule. Okay, it's no longer a democracy anymore. Okay, whatever the president says goes. If he says go, if they say go and pick this person up, they can do it. And what happened? 2020 hit, and the pestilence 19 went forth. That their agenda went forth for a new world order and this authoritarian rule. Okay, the masks were was used as a testing means of who would be loyal, who wouldn't. Okay, to the mask, then to the potion. All right, and they began stripping away the businesses. Okay, the small business, and they took over. And we haven't recovered ever since. The economy hasn't recovered. All right, they bought up all the houses. All right, they paid the investors, gave the investors BlackRock 1% loans to buy up all the houses in America. Okay, so that's how we ended up being in this situation today. Okay, and trust me, they don't care about the small man. All they care about is the oligarchy, the rich, the elites. All right, Edomites of the world, mainly. All right, beginning with the international banking families, because that's what this whole nation was built by. Okay, these rich elites. Okay, all right, they bought and paid for Israel, the Rothschilds, and they call the shots over here in America. Babylon the Great. All right, let's go to Revelation chapter 12, verses 10, because he had mentioned that all they have to do is accuse you, and that's it. They can just accuse you of being this or that. They don't have to really, bring you to trial, nothing like that. They say you're this, that's it, and they got you, right? They can do whatever they want, strip you of your passport, you can't leave. All right? And that fulfills Jeremiah 50 and 33, as I read earlier. Okay? They refused to let them go. All right? Revelation 12 and verses 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. Who is that? That is Esau, Edom. All right. He is known as the devil. He is known as the wicked. All right. Of the earth. The so-called white man. That's ruling right now today. If you can't really see that, I don't know what's wrong with you. All right. That this is who it is. They have revealed themselves. Okay. I don't know what else it's going to take for to let you know that these people are those people. The Edomites of the Bible. They're the wicked of the Bible. All right. They have the same MO as they had when they took the nation. They took the Americas. All right. Colonizing and all that. That's what they're basically doing in Gaza right now. The same old thing. They're taking the land and they're rebuilding. Right. That's what they did in Americas. Right. If you can understand that. They are the wicked. So let's read this again. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, is cast down, which accuses them before our power day and night. Okay. They're accusing who? They're accusing the people of the Americas, all right, the Latinos, as being criminals, right? And they're accusing who? Judah, the tribe of Judah, which are the so-called Negroes, as being criminals. You see how it comes together? And it's in Jeremiah 50 and 33 says what? That they refuse to let them go. See that? And that they were both being oppressed together. All right. So you need to let me read that again, because I'm trying to get you to understand that the Bible is a real book. All right. You got to be able to discern through the Spirit what's happening. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the children of Israel and the children of Judah, the two kingdoms. All right. They would be together. Where? They're together in the Americas and in Babylon the Great. That's where they are. They're both in Babylon the Great together. The so-called Latinos and native Latinos, Native Americans, all right, and Judah, all together. And they were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. That's what's happening now. Okay, the guy told you that if they determine that you are saying something against the government that they don't like, anything, whatever they deem to be hate speech or whatever, they can basically cancel you, make you lose your job, all right, based on what you said. Okay. All right, so let's go back to Revelation 12 and verses 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power. This is going to happen after World War III and the Lord return at the Lord's return. Okay, after the destruction. Okay, that this is what the angels and the holy apostles and elders and teachers are going to say. Okay, because they're going to be redeemed from the earth. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren, the 12 tribes of Israel, the accuser being Esau, Edom, all right, ruling the earth, is cast down, which accuses them before our power day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, which is Yahushua, the Hamashiach, and by the word of their testimony, which that word of testimony will be given out on the highways and the byways, okay, all right, through the men of the Lord, the prophets coming back in the regeneration. And they loved not their lives unto death, all right, preaching this gospel, teaching this word, right? And because of this, the devil, Esau, Edom, is what? Verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, the heavens being the prophets and teachers. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, all right, the rest of the nations and mankind, for the devil is come down unto you, all right, Esau, Edom, that's what's happening now. He's coming down on everyone, right, in America, all right. The devil has come down unto you having great wrath. Why? Why is all this happening? Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. A short time for what? To rule. He's being cast out. That's the decree coming from the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And no matter what he does, he's not going to rule 1 second past the time that the Lord has allotted for him to rule this earth. Okay? He's not going to rule 1 second past it. I think that's Job 14. Let me see, can I find that? And 5. Yeah, it's 14 and 5. Hold on a second. Alright. Alright. Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Alright, with the Most High. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay? So, America, it just like ancient Rome and Babylon, ancient Egypt, all of those nations were set up by the Most High, and they cannot go past the time period set by the Lord. Okay, all right, and America is next in line to be destroyed. All right, but this will be the final empire to rule the earth. It will be Yahushua and the Israelites that will rule next forever. All right. So the accuser of the brethren is about to prosecute the elect of Israel. That's what's going to eventually happen. Isaiah 29 and 21. All right. That maketh a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. That's what eventually is going to happen. Okay, the words, the prophesying on the streets, the teaching, people that come forward, the truthers, all of that, they're going to shut that all down. Okay, all right. Again, Isaiah 29:21, that make a man an offender for a word. Okay, we're preaching the gospel against this kingdom. All right, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. All right, so that's what Esau Edom is setting up here. Okay. Isaiah 32 and let's see. And 5. Isaiah 32 and 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and in his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. he devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. So the bottom line is the churl, that's Esau, Edom. All right, he is the vile person that's bringing forth these wicked devices. All right, these executive orders. All right, and they're going to continue to happen until they acquire all their agenda of the New World Order. They want total control over the society. Okay, because they have to do this in order to bring forth and implement the MOTB, and which is the RFID microchip. They have to subdue all citizens, all right, so that they can force you to take the MOTB, which is the mark, which is going to be implanted under the flesh. All right, and once they get you to a point where you're dependent on them, in which they crash the system, then this is when this is going to be implemented. Okay, all right, because basically they've rounded up all the food, they've gathered all the food together to themselves. They're feeding us GMOs, all right, products, no seeds in the fruit, all right, and they kept all the good stuff to themselves, all right, and they're going to bring forth this social credit score system for you to participate in society. So with that, I say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Shalom.